Hey church, it's Pastor Carrie here, and it's August 4th and today is your Tuesday Keeping Connected video, and I'm excited to talk to you today. I wanted to follow up a little bit from the sermon on Sunday, where we talked about little things that we can do in our lives to help us reconnect to God and ways that we can live into the people that God created us to be. Things that maybe we have put on hold or pause since the beginning of the pandemic, and that maybe God is reminding us that it is time to get back in touch with our relationship with God and in growing in our relationship with the world. And so, one of the things we talked about was scripture reading. Today's scripture passage for the summer in the scriptures that many of us are participating in, where we're reading through the Gospels this summer, is Luke 21. And in the beginning of Luke 21, it's the passage about the widow who brings 2 coins. And Jesus tells the people, you who try to give much and you give and you have much to give, you don't give very much. But this widow gave 2 little coins, which is all that she had. And so it was a small gift, but it was an amazing gift. And Jesus really praised that. And I remind you or ask you, what are you giving? What are you doing that seems small but really makes a huge impact in the world? And I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my grandmother. So this is my grandmother, and this is my grandmother who died when I was 10. And she was my mother's stepmother. She married my grandfather after my mother's mother passed away when she was young, very young. And my grandmother, her name was Mary Nancy Carmichael, and she was one of the first women to graduate from Harvard Divinity School, and she was one of the first women to be ordained in the Methodist Church before it was even the United Methodist Church. And she pastored as a campus pastor in Virginia. And I never got to know her as a pastor because by the time I came along, she had married my grandfather to come and care for his kids and to love him and to live in Atlanta where they lived. But I got to know her and all of the small things that she did to make the world a better place. And one thing that she did in my life, and this may sound like a silly story, but one of the little things that she did that I'm telling you, I think about every time I think about my grandmother is when I was in elementary school. I was bringing we used to go to her house all the time. And I brought over my school books one day and I accidentally ripped one of the pages of my math textbook. And I don't know if you know this about me. I am a bit of a rule follower. I like to do everything just right. And I lost it. And I was so upset. And I thought my teacher was going to be so mad at me. And you know what my grandmother did? She took a piece of scotch tape and she fixed it. She just taped it right up. And that moment has stuck in my head for so long, not because she secured me not being in trouble, but because she cared for me. And I remember in that moment feeling loved and feeling cared for and feeling compassion from her. And that love and care and compassion is what the world needs. And God has called us to do little things in this world to make a big impact for others who need to feel God's love. And that has not changed. A pandemic hit, and the world needs it only more now. And you can do that in safe and holy ways. And I encourage you, spend some time with God, asking God, what is it that I can do to make an impact on the world? Rekindle your relationship with God, rekindle your relationship with the world in the midst of this strange and uncertain time. You won't regret it because you will feel an amazing closeness to God, and the world around you will feel an amazing closeness with God through your actions. I am praying for you, and I look forward to talking to you and seeing you in worship on Sunday and participating in our community live feed with you. Bye, everybody.